those of you struggling out there wherever you are with drugs and alcohol, and you know the mental torture, you know the obsession that you're going through, you know how it's impossible to quit. We get so far and then we fall. We worry about others, how they think about us, you know, how they can live that life over there that's just so pretty. But let me tell you this, you know, as far as my recovery and this journey that I'm on has gone, see, I spoke Sunday, and when we get hit with something like this, people that have food addictions, they'll never admit it like we'll have to, drugs and alcohol. And the obesity is more prevalent than drugs and alcohol, because now you've got obesity combined with drugs and alcohol. So now, those of you out there, now you're fighting all kinds. But you're looking at somebody that's just as obese as you, that don't do drugs and alcohol, telling you how bad you're fucking up. Does that make any sense? No, it don't. They're going to get the same diabetes. They're going to get the same health ailments from the foods, the GMO and all them foods and the additives and shit, as we do from drugs and alcohol. You know, and when we can start thinking about, like, not what anybody thinks about us, because truthfully, everybody's thinking about how horrible and a piece of shit that they are. They just don't want to admit it. You know, and I hate to be so blunt, but we have to be blunt in order to get better. And we do. But see, gluttony is you know, it's glamorized in society, especially within religions. Gluttony is a big thing. You know, they push the energy drinks, they push it all. And then what they do is they counter that with commercials and shows and movies, people living with HIV and, you know, cancers and diabetes and all these things, and they're normalizing it. Getting you to fucking be like, yeah, well, that's just normal. That's what I'm supposed to have. And it's like, no, you're not. We are not supposed to be sick all the time. Drugs and alcohol makes us very sick, not just physically, but emotionally, mentally, and everything. Foods do the same thing. Lottery does the same thing. Porn does the same thing. Sugars do the same thing. We're all in the same boat together. But see, not until we can all sit down together and identify what's, you know, destroying us, then we'll never get anywhere. So we're going to have to sit over here, and if we can't go around those people for a while, then that's fine. You know, maybe never. Because see, it's not that I don't want to go around those people, it's they have nothing to offer my recovery and to my soul. You know, I'm always looking to grow. And I can stay in Negativeville with people, but not for hours, you know, for minutes and maybe an hour. And then I got to go. I got to get my spirit back up. You know, and I'm a little all over the place on this topic, because there's many in there. But I've talked to several people in the past 2 days about major topics, and they're all trying to come out at one time, and I don't know how to explain it, how I feel about it. Because when I look at society, I can break society down in every way. Every one of us have something that's detrimental, and we'll never recognize it, except for us with the drugs and alcohol. See, we see things in a different way. You know, we do. And somebody asked me, talking about war being created, you know, there wouldn't be no war if it wasn't caused. And what was caused in me was alcohol. And I want you to think about something. Think about all the fines, and think about everything since alcohol's legal and they sell it under a law structure. We can't make it anymore. That how many fines and how many people have lost jobs, how many families have been separated, how many children have been sexually abused, how many DUIs, how many people have died from DUI homicides, how many people have committed suicide under the influence of drinking. And it's if you really look at that, you would be insane to say, yeah, that's perfectly fine. But when we look at cannabis or hemp or CBD, you know, other than the pharmaceutical medications that are plastic and chemicals and Mother Circe, which it is, we get blasted for a plant, you know, that has everything to do with our chemical makeup within our body. And it does. And I'll have 5 years this December without nothing from Big Pharma, 5 years straight, hardcore alcoholic. Do your research about my story. 50 ERs and 30 detoxes and rehabs and all that shit. And my story has proved it wrong, and it has. And seeing those medications, those give people an excuse too, the obese people and everybody else, to keep doing them because it's legal. That's what my doctor, that's legal. He went to a college, to a university, to a collegium, to a temple to get a work permit, a work diploma, to come out here to write prescriptions to us to suppress our thinking and our ability to get better on our own. Those are not natural. Those are not made from any God, any higher power. Those are meant to destroy us. And my spirit, throughout the process of being prescribed so many antidepressants and few benzos, and I abused them on my own, my spirit never agreed with all that shit. Antipsychotic medications, and then, all kinds of medications. My spirit never identified with any of that shit. It was like it was always pushing it away. And then when I introduced something that's a living organism, as plants and trees and shrubs are, that's when my body, and then I actually wiped out everything that's man-made, for the most part, for my diet, which is just my lifestyle now. I'll be 43 in December, and I'm lean as shit. No kids in America have abs like I do. Nobody my age does. No steroids, no nothing. And I'm not bragging. I'm telling you, that's 5 years almost of doing the same thing every day because I was a severe alcoholic. I'm about to graduate my own recovery program in December. And that's what I've done, is educated myself about the foods, about the substances, about what's going in my mind, my ears, and my everything. Is it positive or is it negative? Is it going to help me or is it going to destroy me? It's a very easy fucking question that we always have to ask ourselves, but it's so hard. I have to stay busy. If I start thinking about drinking, I've got to go. I got to go. Go to Walmart, go to Lowe's, go walk around, go anywhere when you start thinking about drinking. Go by yourself. You might run into somebody. That's the whole thing about this recovery, is you got to keep busy. In order to stop destroying ourselves, we have to stay busy. Stay as busy doing something else as we was drinking or whatever it is that's destroying us, food or pills or whatever. Meth, I don't care. You are going to have more motivation to get out of that shit than you'll ever have. And it's up to you to unlock it. And it's within you. It's within all of us. But it's been blocked from everything that's around us. And it's hard to understand. But once you get going, give it time, it will blow your mind how you'll see things. Love you.